But let's get into the meat of the content. Daredevil, Born Again dropped its first trailer, and I would imagine there might be a second trailer. Part of me really hopes, though, that this is the only trailer, what I'm going to call substance, or this is the primary trailer, and that's it for the entire show, because I don't need things spoiled, and this gave plenty to anyone that has been anticipating the show. And I would imagine that anyone who has yet to watch any or all of the original 3 seasons of Daredevil saw this trailer and went, well, okay, I'll go watch that. I'm interested.
Yeah.
So I thought it did its job. I mean, my goodness. Talk about worth the wait.
It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It was perfect because it immediately told us that, hey, you remember the tone of that show that you love so much?
Mm-hmm.
Just because we're on Disney Plus, it's not gone.
Right.
It's back. We're back. It might be a little less intense, but the intent, most of it's still there. I mean, we saw Broken Bones.
The thing is, the folks that are involved with the creation of the show have said the opposite, that it is more than what we saw in the original Netflix show. If anything, it's going to be airing on that side of that particular line of demarcation.
I've never been more happy to be wrong. Doesn't happen very often. But when I'm wrong, man, good. Yeah. Good for this one.
Yeah.
So
it's it makes me wonder how much, and we'll get into the production history of this show as we get closer to the March 4th release date of the first episodes of the show. But it does make me wonder how much this show was impacted and, to be really frank, benefited from the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, and how that movie blazed the R-rated trail for the Disney side to have them say, hey, this isn't a harm to our brand. Rather, it can be an asset. Obviously, it's not the primary avenue in which Disney and Marvel is telling their stories, but it's valid, and it's something that, in other words, the people want to see. So it's a conversation for another time, but just to plant that little seed for you, there you are. Let's talk about who we saw in the trailer, right? And by the way, if you haven't watched it, please do for yourself. But assuming that you have, we get to see what looks to be Mayor Kingpin.
Yep.
At the very least, Kingpin is running for mayor. White Tiger.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't something I was necessarily anticipating. Bullseye. Good to see our guy Dex back in the fold. Muse, new to the crew, along with White Tiger. Similar costume styles. I wonder if they took notes from each other. I don't think they did. I don't think they checked in with one another. You know, a lot of white and black, but I digress. And then, of course, our guy, Frank Castle, the Punisher, back in the fold, wielding a hatchet as a good Punisher should.
Yeah, he looked like he's been through some shit.
Yep, it's probably been a tough ride for Frank. And, of course, we saw the usual cast of characters, Foggy, Karen. We had multiple Daredevil suits teased. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But how great is this that we're getting so much of the main cast and crew back? But did any of those characters that you saw in this trailer stand out to you for any particular reason?
I'm good with Punisher. Punisher is going to be fantastic. Yep. I love that Frank is back. Okay, I'm glad John Bernthal as Frank is back.
Sure.
He's going to kill some people, and it's going to be amazing.
Right? The question is, how many people? Because the body count will be not on the slight side. It'll be on the beefier, more bulbous, to bring that fun word back.
He looks more off his rocker than usual. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome. Yep. There's going to be a lot of death from him. White Tiger, I could be indifferent about. I will see what happens with the character.
I need to do more research on the character. Like, I have only known White Tiger, and known is a strong word, more like by association in Daredevil comics. I can't say that I've ever read a run of comics outside of, again, a little bit of Daredevil that's had White Tiger as a part of the story in any, substantial way.
Well, I thought White Tiger was a girl, so...
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Joke's on you.
Maybe this is the one before. Maybe there's been multiple White Tigers.
That is part of the character where it's not an individual. I believe it's what do the people say? Amulet based.
Yeah.
Right. He holds the amulet, the White Tiger amulet in this case, gets the powers.
Well, there you go.
So, I mean, it's accessible. That gets the people excited, right?
Yeah.
You could have those powers.
Easy enough.
That's great.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Absolutely.
Don't know what I would do with it, but yeah, that's great.
I was really excited. I expected to see the Punisher in this show. Nonetheless, it was still super exciting to see John Bernthal as Frank Castle in the flesh. What a delight. For some reason, I was less certain that Bullseye was going to be present.
Yeah.
I'm sure the news was out there and I simply didn't pick up on it. But I really, really enjoyed how they developed the character of Dex, obviously becomes Bullseye, throughout season 3.
Yep.
And with all the work they did on that character, yeah, by all means, keep him involved. That's great. Even if he's not the primary adversary, he should be a part of the Daredevil circle.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see what his role in role in this is.
Right.
Yeah, with him and Muse is coming in and Muse looks amazing and Muse is a serial killer of what do we say, a superhero serial killer? What did we say he was a serial killer of?
He's just kind of he's willing to kill anyone, really.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
he gives me a lot of Victor Zsasz vibes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, they both look awesome.
Yep.
I'm excited to have them both. This isn't on your list, but there was also in the show it looked like a band of people that were just wearing different colored masks.
Yep.
So I'll be curious to see if that's anything at all, or if those are just people for Frank the Murder.
Could be. Are they forerunners of Muse of some kind? Who's to say? Yeah.
So
no, the tone of the show obviously I think was the most important piece, aside from showing all of us fans who have been waiting for so long the actual in the flesh actors in their respective roles. That's outstanding. I mean, think about how rare this is for movies and shows to not have to recast minor or major roles, and they're bringing the whole band back, like from Karen Page to Foggy Nelson to Kingpin and his wife. Gosh, I'm blanking on his wife's name now, but it's the same actress, and she's in a phenomenal.
Vanessa.
Vanessa, you got it. Yep.
Oh, the same name as my car. Should have known that off the top of my head.
Okay, well, hopefully that's all you have in common. But I think it speaks so well of the enthusiasm that each of these respective individuals has for their roles and has for the show as a whole. So I'm super, super excited. There was nothing in the trailer. And again, the tone was the other piece. You had to nail the tone. And it's as if we didn't spend any time away, which I find absolutely incredible. That's amazing.
It'll be interesting to see what's happened in the gap.
Sure.
The time skip, if you will.
Yeah.
Kingpin looks like he slimmed down a little bit. So, do you know how awesome it would be if he's just yoked? Like underneath that, he's just shredded, and you're just like, oh dang!
He strips away the suit, and it's like,
and it's just steel,
a chiseled,
just a steel,
chiseled Kingpin.
Like, oh,
I don't think I'm ready for that.
That'd be terrifying.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
So here's one question I have for you: Are we getting Elektra back? Is she reappearing?
Sure. Yeah, we have an actress, Margarita, and her last name is a challenge, so I am not even going to effort it. That has the very strong Elektra vibes, and it wouldn't be shocking. She's such a...
Does that say 18 episodes, by the way?
It does, but I feel like that's not accurate. That was the original episode count that was announced like 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to be on point.
Can you imagine?
I can, and I want it to be that, but I just don't think it will be. Here's the real question. Do we want Elektra back in this particular pot of Daredevil chili?
I'm indifferent.
Okay.
So
I have rarely seen her character be allowed to bring anything of substance to Daredevil's world. Too often it's just like chaos that doesn't really jive with the character of Matt Murdock as he's presented to us. So I'm more interested if Elektra is going to come back and having her character be reshapen into a sustainable way. Like it's just like a firework that's going to explode, make a bright light, make a lot of noise, and then we're done. So I'd rather see her character if she truly isn't brought, if she is brought into the fold, have some sustainability. That's what I would like to see.
No, it definitely needs to be a little bit. She needs to be more settled down.
Yeah,
for sure. She's a little less crazy, if you will. So that would be.
Constantly gets written that way. It's she's
you
got way more to offer than
you don't need to be
a backstory,
a nutcase.
No,
all the time. No.
a lot of untapped potential, I think, in that character.
Yeah, I'm good either way. If she shows up, she is a important Marvel character.
Mm-hmm.
So having her present, I mean, she is very important to the Daredevil lore, regardless of what Elektra we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm for it if it makes sense, and that's what matters the most. It needs to make sense.
Sure.
So
yeah. Anything else on the Daredevil front, my guy?
No, dude, I am over the moon.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah.
I would love to skip the whole month of February just to get to this.
Right. For so many reasons, and that one being a primary reason.
Yeah. The only question I have left is how many episodes are we getting, and are they all dropping at once?
Yep. Great question. I feel like this will be what the pattern of Disney has been. The more confident they are in the material, the more willing they are to take their time with the releasing of the episodes. When they're more of a, hey, we need to move on, it's really obvious. It's here's all the episodes right at once. Like you think of the What If series.
You know what? I forgot about that show completely. Yeah. And I still have season 3 that I'm probably not going to watch.
Okay. So you're better off for it, all things considered. But most of the Star Wars shows, in fact, I think all the Star Wars shows, they've released usually a 2-episode initial kind of intro drop, and then episode by episode, week after week, just by way of comparison. But Echo, as you recall, was an all at once drop. So I think it benefits them to take their time, not be in such a hurry. So
fair enough.
Looking forward to it.